What's going on, y'all? So Beyonce decided to strip Kelis off of her album after she sampled Kelis' song Milkshake for the song Energy, and Kelis was upset about the situation. She took to social media. She called Beyonce out for having no originality, saying that she didn't have any integrity and she didn't have the common decency to contact her behind the scenes to ask if she could sample her song. Now, a lot of Beyonce worshipers feel that Beyonce did nothing wrong, and technically speaking, she didn't, because she did follow the proper channels to obtain the rights to Kelis' music. I mean, if you want to look at it from that aspect, but me, I feel like Beyonce did something wrong and she didn't respect Kelis as a person or an artist to contact her to let her know what her plan was and what her vision was for using her sample. Now, I do see some people that are of the mindset that Kelis doesn't own the rights to her music and her gripe shouldn't be with Beyonce, it should be with Pharrell and Hugo of the Neptunes. I want to put y'all up on game. Kelis signed her contract at the age of 17. Now, she wasn't fortunate enough to have a Matthew Knowles or a Tina Knowles to help guide her along the way. And you also have to take into account that when she was recording her first two albums, right, she was in a full-blown relationship with Pharrell. So I'm pretty sure that Pharrell told Kelis some things that she wanted to hear, both romantically and on the business side of things. Now, when it came to Kelis working on her third album, she wanted to reach out and work with other producers other than the Neptunes, and that made Pharrell feel some type of way. And so when you take those things into account, you have to understand that Pharrell got petty and he reneged on everything that he promised Kelis. And because Kelis wanted to reach out and, you know, see if she can improve her craft by working with other producers, but still maintaining a relationship with the Neptunes because they still were going to help produce some of her album, Pharrell wanted full control of Kelis, and Kelis wanted to branch out. So for those of you who are saying that Kelis should have owned her own music, it's not that easy. A lot of these artists just was so desperate to get in the game, right? They had no guidance, and that was their only ticket to the path that they wanted to go down as far as becoming an artist in the industry. And so they signed deals that they later on regret. Some of these individuals signed deals when they were 15, 16, and 17, and then when you get older and you start to understand the business, you regret putting that pen to paper. Now, Kelis did decide to respond to fans after Beyonce dropped her off the album. So let's take a look at some things that Kelis said. So one person says, "You happy Beyonce took that sample off, Crybaby?" Kelis responds and says, "Yes, I am actually. LOL, nobody cried." Then another individual says, "Thanks for the promotion." Then Kelis responds and says, "I mean, if this is promotion, then that speaks to the quality of the demographic, and she needs no promo from me. She has Satan, LOL. That was a joke, LOL, a good one. Buy a joke, nonetheless." Then someone else says, "Music career dead just like your edges." And then Kelis responds and says, "LOL, my edges? LOL, I'm like Rapunzel in this B. Ooh, you mad? LOL." Then someone else says, "To be honest, I would have just been happy to be on the album." Then Kelis responds and says, "And that's why you are you, and thank God I am me, LOL." Then this person says, "Kelis, unfollow at Kelly Rowland right now. She unfollowed you last night. She needs a backbone." Then Kelis says, "LOL, just don't care, babe." Then this person says, "Kelis, Kelly unfollowed you, unfollow her back." Then Kelis responds and says, "LOL, I wouldn't have known either way. It makes no difference." Alright, y'all, so you saw that exchange between Kelis and some of Beyonce fans. There were other receipts, but I decided not to read them because they were corny and baseless. But when Kelis said that Beyonce didn't need her for promo and basically that she had Satan, it just goes to show that people in the industry know that Jay-Z and Beyonce are tied to something dark. Now, Kelis can sit there and act as if she was joking when she made that reference, but in my estimation, she wasn't joking. Kelis was spitting straight facts. Now, another thing that I find interesting is that Beyonce fans want to tell Kelis that she should have just been happy that she was on the album. You want her to be happy just for being on Beyonce's album and she's not getting one red cent from that sample that Beyonce used? That's crazy. Everybody don't worship Beyonce like y'all do. But anyway, I commend Kelis for standing up in what she believed in, and at the end of the day, she got ultimately what she wanted, and that was not to be on Beyonce's album. So I'm glad that Kelis stood up and put Satan in her place.
Go into the chapel and we're gonna get married.
Ciao.
All right, y'all, so get into this. So Wendy had a conversation with her so-called friend Jason Lee on Tuesday afternoon, and she talked about the fact that she was married to a NYPD officer by the name of Henry, right? Now, Wendy's new manager, Will Selby, has came out and denied those claims to Page 6. He basically said that the information was inaccurate and that Wendy got carried away during a phone call with Jason Lee because she's happy about a new relationship that she's in. Now, after Will denied those accusations, Jason Lee proceeded to call Wendy, right? And he basically recorded the phone call. Now, whether it was with or without Wendy's permission, that remains to be seen, but he asked her again, was she married? And this is how the conversation went.
Hi.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
So yesterday when you called me and said that you were married, you know, I posted that, right? And now some guy named Will is talking to Page 6 saying this shit making me look crazy out here.
No, everybody seems to have a problem with that. I'm married.
So is there a problem that they don't want people to know you're married, or they didn't want you to tell me you're married?
I'm married. I don't care who knows it. I'm married.
Okay. Well, you know, I you the long way. I'm always look out for you. I just don't know what Will is doing or why he's out there trying to discredit me, but that's
Will sees no point in me getting married. But you know what? Will. 14 years I've known him, and I've always said in a good way.
Hey, Kelis. How you guys doing?
right.
You know?
Right.
I didn't know what podcast was. He put me on the podcast. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? What do I do?
Listen, if you want somebody to help you with a podcast, I mean...
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Okay.
I will for that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. If you're comfortable with him, cool. But he needs to watch his mouth. He better keep my name out of his mouth with that bull. And he talking about he's your official rep. That's what he told Page 6.
He is.
Okay. Well, somehow he need to get on the same page with you then, because clearly, you know, you talked to me and I said what I said. So I don't know him, but...
It's okay.
All right. Well, I wanted to make sure you knew.
Yeah. It's okay. Okay.
See you
bye.
this weekend. Bye.
All right, so you guys heard that exchange between Jason Lee and Wendy. So Wendy stood 10 toes down and said that she was married. Now, remember, I did a video a couple of days ago and I showed you this video right here where a TikToker had ran into Wendy in the streets of New York, and basically she was showing off this huge ring. Now, she was waiting on somebody to come back, and I wonder, was she talking about this guy named Henry that she's in a relationship or she's married to? And just looking at the size of that ring, it's like, if he's an NYPD officer, I'm not trying to count his pockets and things of that nature, but the size of that ring, I mean, it just looks hella expensive in my estimation, right? Unless it's some type of costume jewelry. I'm not trying to insult Wendy's wealth, because I know she has the money to be able to afford a ring like that if she wanted to buy it for herself. But an NYPD officer buying her that type of ring, yeah, no, I don't believe that one at all. Now, this is the thing about Jason Lee. Thirsty Jason Lee, you're supposed to be a friend to Wendy, right? And even though she told you that she was married, right, privately, why would you report that given the mental state of Wendy at this particular point in time? You're supposed to protect her and guard her, right? You don't have to be so thirsty to get a story out there first. You know what I'm saying? To put it out on your platform, and so that you can garner all the attention from being the person that broke the story first because you're close friends with her. You're not a friend to Wendy. You're actually an enemy to Wendy. Like, I can't stand when people work in a certain profession and just because it's their job, they call it's just business. It's certain people that you don't exploit. You know, close friends, family, your significant other. You know Wendy is not right mentally right now. And for you to take this story to your tabloid and actually put it out there, it's low, it's deplorable, and just quite frankly, it just has a foul stench to it. Now, let me say this. Maybe the ring that she was showing off in the video that I showed you where some of her fans caught her in the streets of New York doesn't have anything to do with her being married to Henry. Maybe that's just her own personal jewelry, because at the end of the day, if you look at the ring in this video right now, that I have playing, it seems to be the same ring in the video that she was showing her fans that I just played for you all previously. If you take a deep look at it, it looks like the same exact ring. Now, the reason why I'm showing you guys this is because I see a lot of debate online stating that the ring that was in that video where that TikToker caught Wendy out in the streets could be the ring that the officer actually gave to Wendy, and Wendy could be married. No. And I'm like, no, I don't think that's actually the case, and I believe her manager will. Even though I have some reservations about him now, I believe that Wendy is not married and she's just bluffing, and poor thing is just out of her mind at this particular point in time. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything that I talked about in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.